Can you hear me fine? If you are here, I see Jonah and Dragon here, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna do our usual thing where we can talk about whatever, but there's definitely an overlying theme to this stream, which is the biggest acquisition in gaming 5 times fold, because the previous was 12 mil. This is 5 times that, being Microsoft bought Activision, Blizzard, and King something, I think, for $68 billion. I did a video about it that sums up my, that really kind of summarizes what I'm feeling, but there's a whole mountain of conversations I'm happy to get into, and that's why I felt like doing a live stream today, hoping that I get some folks that want to swing by and become part of the conversation. I put something out on Twitter that will hopefully have a couple shout outs during this stream where I'll like maybe be looking at videos or individual tweets. I want to try to get the community involved. So that's what's going on. Shout out to Mad Scientist, newest Twitch follower, and Steffi, latest donation at $5. If you want to support the stream, feel free to go to the description. Really appreciate it. But sister, in an all might voice, I am here. Also, how's audio? Am I in sync? Am I out of sync? Is everything Gucci? If anybody in live chat can let me know. Already 2 likes on the stream. Really appreciate that, guys. I'm actually gonna change my layout here. Let's see. There we go. Now I have you guys full screen. Any hoozle. Okay, Dragon says audio's good. Took says everything sounds good. Perfect. All right, thanks guys. Appreciate that. Capone is here as well. I saw Jonah earlier. Here we go. Jonah, what's that anime picture, man? I see an anime picture, I think. It's super tiny though. I don't see you in a sink. I am not. I am definitely not in a sink. So anyways. Yeah. I guess I should have pages ready, but I wasn't really prepared. This is a very spontaneous stream. I don't think I've ever done this. I don't think I've ever just kind of like booted up a live stream and was like, hey, let's do it. Speaking of which, this camera is super low. We're moving. Hello, everybody. Don't you die on me. Everything's fine. Okay. And then just angle this down a little bit. Slightly better. Slightly. Anyways. What's going on, guys? What are you thinking so far? Because to really summarize my feelings on this is just really on the fence. Super on the fence. Like, there's a lot of folks that might be like, you're an Xbox dude, why aren't you freaking hyped about this? And I'm just like, there's a lot of reasons, man. There's a lot of reasons I'm really on the fence about it. I mean, there's nothing that can be done. We could express our opinions, but we're not higher ups or anything like that. I see KevBot. Yo. Hello, KevBot. Hope you're good. How's your week? Also, if you want to actually be like appear in this stream or get like your Twitter account shouted out, I'm very active on Twitter, and I want to also figure out ways of getting the community more involved. And so that is why, if you got Twitter, feel free to record a video of yourself, like up to 60 seconds preferably, of your take on the Xbox Bethesda, or Xbox Bethesda, see, that was old, that's old news. The Xbox Activision Blizzard situation, and I will react to it live on stream. And you got to use the hashtag GeekProudAwesome. Hashtag GeekProudAwesome. That's the way I'll be able to see it. But anyways, for the folks that are in the live chat, Jonah, I have no idea. I have plans of changing my profile pic since it looks outdated and odd. Oh, good, Jonah. I like it. Sister, I don't think so either. Ace Skullington, hello. Thanks for coming by. Capone, What does this mean for games? The games. What does this mean for their future? So Capone, in my opinion, there's a few pluses. Like, I've been telling folks, like, I'm really not one way or the other on this. Like, the Bethesda thing, I thought that was hype. That was really hype to finally be providing a big value to the Xbox platform, and it's with a publisher they're super freaking buddy with, and I just thought that made sense. You know, it was an acquisition that made sense. This one, not so much. But one of the positives I take from it is I had a COD fan that showed up in my video. He's been a COD fan for years, and he's explained to me how, like, Treyarch and other people, they were, like, under so much pressure to release their game on time because COD's a yearly franchise. And I saw, like, him and Paris Lilly, I think his name is, and other folks saying, like, wow, maybe the actual COD devs can actually get a break now and not be forced to release every year. They probably will, but because that'll be Activision's decision that Microsoft will approve. But I think the games themselves will be better for this. I truly think so. If Xbox was willing to delay their flagship title at the cusp of their next console's launch, and were willing to delay that flagship title an entire year, that takes some balls. And I respect Xbox for that. So I think the games are going to flourish in terms of their quality. And their devs. Their devs get the proper amount of time too. Anyways, Dragon, can't wait for Microsoft to buy Sony and Nintendo, and then for Disney to buy Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft has way more money than Disney. So FYI, Microsoft could buy Disney. Microsoft has a lot more money than Buena Vista. I see Joey. I saw some, just one more time, if you're just joining us, if you would like to record yourself and be in my stream, I understand if you're shy, it's all good. You could still just do a tweet or comment in the live stream. But if you want to get shouted out, if you want to get your Twitter account shouted out, I love Twitter. It's just quick little takes on things, and you are welcome to record a quick little 30-second, 60-second video of you with a take or a question. I'd love to see it during the stream. I'm going to be looking at those in just a moment. I just want to greet everybody as they join. Sister, I'm not feeling this merge. There's something off about it. I agree, sister. I agree. It's funny because the last couple of videos I did that had to do with Xbox, people were like, you Sony pony. And I'm just like, okay, one, you're dumb. And two, I don't even have a PlayStation console, so I'm not sure why you're saying that. Just like, people just think if you're defending or offending the other side, then you're instantly one or the other. I'm like, can you not just primarily own one of the consoles and respect what the other guy is doing? Like, God. Dragon, I honestly hope this gets canceled in court, but I doubt it will because they allow Disney to straight up buy Fox. That is very true. They will probably allow this to happen. The Fox thing, my one difference with the Fox thing, it's a good point. And I believe it will no matter what go through. So what Dragon's referring to, I just saw a chat from Dragon in here that said, like, you know, he's hoping that the courts won't approve this. This hasn't happened yet. It's not done. It still technically has to be approved by a lot of court systems across the entire world. Like the Bethesda thing, they were waiting on the European market to approve it. The US one did, but the European one took a longer time. So 6 months from now, basically, we'll have more word on this. But I think the one difference, Dragon, with the Fox situation is that it didn't change the accessibility of those products. You could still go to the same movie theater and watch a Disney and Fox film. You could still go to the same Target or Best Buy and buy Disney and Fox films. The marketplace didn't change for those distributors. For this situation, that marketplace is a platform. And so with that in mind, if Activision Blizzard and King, I think, is the third one. If they are all forced to go on Xbox systems, then that could change a lot in the market. And that's why that goes through courts. That could change a lot of situations that deal with jobs, that could deal with certain economy flow. It's a big deal. This is a massive, this is a 68 billion transaction. Anyways, okay, I've fallen behind a lot in the chat. I admit, I'm gonna skim some of these. I want to comment off of all of them. If you want to for sure get a comment, feel free to do a tweet and put hashtag GeekProudAwesome on it. And if you want to record a video yourself, I'll feature you. I'll react to you live during this stream. I'd love to see you, or just do a tweet. That's fine. I'm still paying attention to the chat, and of course, super chats. I vastly appreciate those. Thank you very much. But preferably, don't do super chats. Just go to the description. Patreon's way better. You support creators way better with that. Anyways, Dragons is not good for the future of gaming. I was about to... Duke brings up a good point. Duke earlier says, I was about to buy Crash Bandicoot and Spyro trilogies, but might as well wait until they're added to Game Pass. Look, you're going to have to wait a year, but you're probably right. Continue. Okay, Joey, I see you having a take. Yes, I do as a massive company, but they aren't the only one. There are so many developers and publishers out there, as well as Sony and Nintendo still thriving with their teams. Continue. Unless they buy Sony or Nintendo. Okay, I'm going to read Joey's long, hot take here. All right, and Joey's a longtime patron too, so I appreciate that, man. All right, I see a lot of monopoly talks going around, and I want to give my opinion on that. I don't think Microsoft and Xbox are near monopoly levels yet with this acquisition. Yes, Activision and Blizzard is a massive company, but they aren't the only one. There are so many developers and publishers out there, as well as Sony and Nintendo, still thriving with their teams. Unless they buy Nintendo or Sony, which isn't happening, they aren't going to be a heavy monopoly. I can see worries with EA and Ubisoft acquisitions, though. So I don't know if I'll say I disagree with all that, but the concern for the gaming, the concern for the market and this whole Microsoft being a monopoly and buying everybody out. I see Duke Togo. I'm shy. It's all good, man. You can still like type something out or just do audio. It's all good. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be. And then Titus, I see, by the way, hi, Michael. It is a monopoly, though. They're one of the biggest multi-platform release corporations in the world for this industry. Hi, by the way, I'm here. Yeah, so what Titus just said, Activision, let me put this into perspective. Activision and that whole spiel is worth $71 billion. But in 2020, that's what they were worth. In 2020, they were worth $71 billion. That is more, potentially, that is more of a value on the market that is distributing multi-platform games than Square, Capcom, and Bethesda all combined. Add Ubisoft to that mix. I was looking into their values, and I need to do more research on this, so please don't take what I'm saying as fact. I want to do more research on this. I'm like, seriously, today is like all about this shit. Feel free to support if you want to help me be able to do this full time, but I'm like looking at the net worth values of these companies, and for some reason, this is all of them combined. and this kind of a move is a monopolizing move. It just is. Because there is, as Joey said, there are plenty of other publishers still out there. But what if the day came where somebody, I saw a comment that was like, oh, Sony needs to fight back by acquiring Square Enix. They're really buddy-buddy with them. And I'd be like, hell no. Because I'm with people. I don't want to see all these publishers be under like the roofs of the big three. Like multi-plat games are great, as well as it provides more to multiple economies. And when you limit that, it causes a weird flow. That's all. I'm not an economic specialist. I'm not educated in this. This is purely opinion. Purely opinion. But I could see where the monopoly concern is a thing. As well as limiting what publishers are allowed to do. And yes, I see Jonah earlier. Microsoft is becoming the gaming Disney. Absolutely. That is absolutely what's going on. Duke, do you think a Smash Bros. Style Xbox game is more achievable now that characters like Chief, Tracer, Doomguy, Marcus Phoenix, Senua, Jonah Dark, Crash, etc., Spyro, they're all going to be in the game? Maybe, but I think that goes with whatever their metaverse thing is that they're doing. Yeah, Jonah, wasn't Fox bought by Disney? Yeah, that's why I've been comparing it a lot to that transaction. They're actually both like within 3 billion of each other. Is this music from Tron? No, it's just synthwave copyright-free music. Sounds like Tron though, doesn't it? I see Dragon. This is still monopolizing the market, even if they're not full on monopoly yet. This isn't good, especially if they plan to buy more companies. People keep saying buy Square, buy Capcom, and I'm like, no. Yeah, no company needs to own this much. It's unnecessary at best. And so I want to talk about the games. I feel like we focused a bit too much on the monopoly side of it. I do want to talk about the games, as Capone was teasing earlier. Hi, Pretty Gistle. I saw Pretty Gistle join, as well as G-Mania. The thing about like Dragon here was saying earlier, you know, I don't want to see them buy Square. I don't want to see them buy Capcom or Sega. Yeah, because that means they're all under one roof. Imagine you could only see certain friends of yours if it was at Bobby's house. You could only see those friends if you go to Bobby's house. But previously, you guys, like, you all hung out at John's, you hung at Shelly's, and you hung out at my place, you know? We would all just bounce around between our different places. But from now on, we can only hang out at Bobby's house. And what that does is makes things a lot more picky and choosy for what you spend your time doing. And yeah, and I see Joey saying indies will forever thrive. People love high quality indies. But that's the thing, it's like, we're not near this yet, but the market's definitely moving this way. Indies just might be the only thing that can be, you know, whatever they want to be. So that is kind of a freaky thing. Oh, see, I definitely disagree with this one. Dragon, I'm focusing on the monopoly side of this because it doesn't matter how good the games are going to be. Monopoly will never be good for us consumers, even if we get masterpiece after masterpiece. There's a lot about that I disagree with. I won't go into. I think the quality of the games is definitely an important part. You've gotten very exclusive PlayStation games that are super high quality for many years now. That's what made the PlayStation 4 super thrive. Why wouldn't we be able to get a lot of those masterpieces on Xbox? But limiting everybody to that one platform, that does sound like a little bit of a bummer. As much as I am primarily on Xbox, I can put aside my own bias and admit that sucks. But yeah, I wouldn't want just everything to be on Xbox. That would limit some stuff. But anyways, but if masterpiece games are created, great. You know, I'd like to be able to experience them in other places, but to be able to get a lot of that on a system that has missed it a lot, then I think that's cool. I'm not gonna say that's good. I'm gonna say that's cool. But anyways, Do you have a cold? You sound a little nasally. Do I? No. I just been talking. I think I always sound nasally these days. It's because it's always cold here. Hello, A Blue. Hello. Chaotic Evil Monk. Yes, sir. Hello, hello. There was a neat little image I wanted to show here. Where is it? I came across this on Facebook. Honestly, nutty. This is wild. That's freaking wild. To see that many studios under a first party. That's wild. I don't know, man. That's crazy. I hear Toys for Bop specifically. Is that the people that do Spyro and Crash? Am I wrong about that? I might be wrong about that. Jonah, do you care about graphics, gameplay, or both? Gameplay first and foremost. I mean, I would love to have both, but gameplay is always first and foremost. And graphics can be good in their own right. It Takes Two. That's a gorgeous game, but it's not like, you know, it doesn't look as realistic and shit as Hellblade or Uncharted 4 specifically, but I love the gameplay so damn much, and it looks good enough that I'm like, cool. Same goes for Halo Infinite. The gameplay is so much fun. Yeah, it doesn't look like the most spectacular thing in the world, but the gameplay is fun, therefore I love it. And then there's sometimes story. I'm playing Plague's Tale Innocence right now. That game's story is so good. That game is so good. I understand the praise now, but anyways, that game's story is hooking me. Yeah, the visuals are good, but yeah, there's elements. The visuals to me is like supplemental. I didn't love Hellblade 1 because its visuals were absolutely stunning. I loved Hellblade 1 because of the messaging, story, and performances that it had. But this is insane, man. To look at all these studios, it's wild. That's absolutely wild. And again, I'm saying if Xbox is willing to push back their flagship title that was supposed to like launch with their new console, if they were willing to make the decision to push that back a year, that took some guts. That took some serious guts, and that shows they have respect for the stuff that they make. And I hope that means, like the COD fan was telling me, hopefully, you know, COD games get more time and stuff. But anyways, let's see. Rick Payne, yo, KIBI, I'm still in shock, yo, dude. I am, dude. It's crazy. DJ Mud Guts. Hold on, let's look at Twitter really quick. I want to look at Twitter. Let's see if we got any of the hashtags going. So if you want to be a part of the video, in terms of like, if you want to make a video and be on the stream, feel free. Or if you just want to do an audio recording, that's fine too. But you just have the Geek Proud Awesome. You put the hashtag Geek Proud Awesome in your tag. And I could have swore I saw one from Joey. Oh, there we go. Why is it not organized in timeline? Oh, there we go. Latest. Duh. Boom. All right, here's one from Mr. Joey. All right. Let's get the main question out of the way. Do you think COD will become an Xbox exclusive? Oh, this conversation again. This freaking conversation again. So Joey's the first one to do the Twitter thing. Feel free, you could record a video of yourself or take a picture of something. Just obviously, you know, don't get your boy banned. But yeah, like Joey, he's just doing a tweet here. That's totally fine. All right, let's get the main question out of the way. Do you think COD will become an Xbox exclusive? I am curious what everybody else thinks. I don't think so. But we said the same thing about until I see Elder Scrolls is 100% Xbox exclusive. It probably is, especially after Starfield. Starfield's a good sign. But until I see Elder Scrolls console exclusive, or Xbox exclusive, sorry, can't imagine they would make COD exclusive. It's very possible. But to answer Joey's tweet, do you think COD will go exclusive? Dragon just won't stop, man. That's hard for me to say, man. That's Activision's, I feel like that's Activision specifically. That's their money machine. I don't know. What do you guys think? Dragon, Microsoft doesn't need fighting game or a Japanese studio. Let those studios do their own thing. Microsoft doesn't need a hand in every single part of the gaming industry. This is monopoly thinking. This is also what gamers want thinking. 100%. This is what gamers want. Xbox people are tired of not having like JRPG exclusive stuff for their console. They're tired of not having a fighting game in the console. That's not about monopoly thinking. That's just what gamers want to fucking play. I don't know. I vastly disagree with that one. So much so that I swore. I apologize. Faisal, Tony, what's up? What's freaking up? What a day. Yes, what a day. History, man. It's freaking history. I can't believe we got this 2 years in a row. That's crazy. Let's see. Maybe they could use the Activision support studios to help out with the Halo content. Corey, I gotta admit, I see Corey earlier. Maybe they could use some of the Activision support studios to help out with the Halo content. Yeah. I don't want any more outsourcing. I want that studio to just be it. Like, that's the studio. No outsourcing, please. Please. Rick Payne, no, bro. Xbox needs a JRPG and a fighting studio. For Killer Instinct, man, I agree. I really do agree. I really do agree. Let's see. Hello, Oren. I see Oren Jackie. I'm not sure. VAR FYL. I don't know what that means. Okay, I do see an interesting comment here. Faisal 007. This looks like Japan versus America now. So, this might sound controversial, but there is a part of me that thought for a split second, I'm not saying this is true or anything, but just there's a part of me that thought of this for a split second. A lot of the companies that Microsoft is managing to partner with and everything do seem to be very America focused. I think King is, I'm not sure about this. Again, I'm not speaking fact. I'm just guessing, so I apologize. I think King is a Chinese developer. I'm probably totally wrong about that. But I feel like Blizzard and Activision are very America-based. I could be totally wrong about that too. Somebody feel free to correct me if they are very well aware. And then, you know, Bethesda's for sure very America-based. You know, they have studios from Europe, but their foundings were in America. So there is a part of me that almost wonders, like, is it harder to make partnerships or these deals with folks outside of the country? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I could be very wrong. Is that a reason why PlayStation and Nintendo tend to have a lot more Eastern IPs able to be on their consoles, and not only that, but go exclusive? It is something that I'm kind of curious about. Okay, so earlier, Chief Master, the real question is, are we getting a Spyro exclusive? Xbox don't know what to do with the cartoon IPs, man. They just don't. They really just don't. There's a lot of folks. Hey, JB. I don't know, man. Like, Moon Studios, the people that did Ori, they really wanted to do a Banjo-Kazooie game. Didn't happen. Double Fine. This wasn't Microsoft's choice, but like Double Fine, they've expressed they don't want to do a Banjo-Kazooie game, even though everybody wants them to. And that's great, because that means they get to do, you know, what they want to do. Which again, that shows right there, you know, what Xbox cares about. And that's their devs just making the games that they want to make. So I'm just gonna punch down a little bit of my color. Okay. But yeah, every turn I hear about Banjo-Kazooie, they just don't do it. And Rare, the original creators, they're moving on. So I don't have faith in these cartoons. That's why I made that video. I made a video about, like, I'm really hoping that the success of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart and Psychonauts 2, both of them getting nominated for Game of the Year, I really hope, like, Trigger, look, cartoon IPs don't have to be dead. Like, you can do it. Anyways. Sorry, I'm just like going through the chat here. Rick Payne, Sony basically owns the JRPS. Xbox needs it. Xbox should try to staff up Tango Gameworks and make another studio out of it as well. Out of Tango Gameworks? I don't know if that's a big enough studio to do that. And also, Tango Gameworks isn't exactly a JRPG studio. They're just simply a Japanese studio. Just because they're Japanese, that doesn't mean they instantly make JRPGs. Tango Gameworks is very much into horror, so they got their horror studio down. It's not even horror. It's kind of like action horror. I'm not sure how to describe it. Perp-minded. Microsoft should buy Bandai Namco. Dude, I no more. I don't want to see no more publishers bought. I admit, I'm a little bit done with the publisher deal. Like, why not instead do what PlayStation does, where they just work out an exclusivity deal? Like freaking Final Fantasy VII Remake. That still hasn't come to Xbox, god damn it. And I wonder why. It's because they made some kind of exclusivity deal. Why not just do crap like that instead of buying these publishers? As much as I vastly disagree with Dragon in some of the aspects that he wants to preach about, I still, like, I admit they don't have to buy publishers. Like, they could just make big exclusivity deals. Why not? I don't know. I don't want to see every publisher just, I don't want to see Capcom, Sega, Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard. I don't want to see all of them just owned by one roof. I want to see that company able to work out deals with them. So I don't know. I'm very, very curious. Okay, so I see Dragon and Nato have takes on the Eastern partnerships. Dragon, that's because it's hard to buy companies from other countries. Also, another Japanese companies just don't want to be owned by an American company. That's why buying Square Enix or Capcom would be hard. It's hard to buy from other countries. And that would make sense. It's hard to buy companies from other countries. And then Nato, Japan's antitrust laws make it much more difficult for American companies to take controlling stake in their companies. And cool, fine. That's what I'm saying, though. Is there not a way that just partnerships can be worked out on that across the seas? Gosh dang it. Maybe it's because maybe, you know what? I didn't think about this. Is that why? Is it because Sony's roots are in Japan and therefore they are able to make those deals work a hell of a lot easier? That's probably why, but gosh dang it. That's a bummer if that's the case. And Nato, so in short, yes, it's kind of like Japan versus America, legally speaking. Like, but if that's the case, that's literally it. That would also explain why Capcom wouldn't be a thing either. But gosh dang. JB, do you think they will own by Xbox forever or not, Keebs? I think JB's asking, do you think Activision, Blizzard, and everybody, they'll be owned by Xbox forever? Yeah, that's what an acquisition is. There's not like a length to an acquisition. They are straight up. Like I bought my phone, therefore I own it. I bought this phone, so I own it. I never have to give it back to the store unless I miss payments on it. But I bought it. It's fully paid off. This phone is mine. And it is mine to do with what I see fit. That's essentially what an acquisition is. They bought the company, therefore it is forever theirs until something else gets worked out. Chief Master, no more acquisitions. Yes, I agree, man. I don't want to see no more acquisitions. I want to see partnerships. If there's any more acquisitions, for me personally, I just want to see a fighting studio and a JRPG studio. That's about it. If I got anything else. At this point, though, I don't see that happening. I think they're on... I just want to see them do their partnerships. That's it. You did partnerships with Avalanche and somebody else. I don't know. Just do it. Mighty Spork, I think there's a better than average chance the studio they just bought get a chance to do something other than just COD. Microsoft are after varied content for Game Pass. Well, I mean, Activision does more than COD. If I could get on a personal level here for a second, that's kind of why this news doesn't excite me. I think it's incredibly interesting. I'm not on a war path. I'm not on a hype train. I'm just severely interested and very conflicted. But it is history in the making. So, but Mighty Spork brings up a point. Like, I don't think, like he's saying, like, I don't think they'll just make them do COD. Well, there's a lot of other stuff under this purchase. There's Overwatch, there's World of Warcraft, there's Diablo, there's Crash Bandicoot, and there's Spyro, and maybe other things I'm forgetting to mention. But COD is definitely the Activision money machine, I feel like, and I don't need more shooters on Xbox. After the Bethesda deal, I'm like, we got RPGs and shooters covered. Shooters and RPGs are covered. We don't need any more. So that's the other reason why this doesn't excite me. But if I saw, like, I would be very scared for fans of them. But if I saw like something like Square or Capcom, I would have been like, damn, that just made them completely rounded out. I would be very scared about it, for reasons I've said before, but yeah. Faisal Ed Boone commented on the acquisition. I hope the next one is WB, especially. I mean, WB is American, and I think the Xbox will own the American fighting studios. Tony, let me tell, I have more hopes now that Banjo's coming back. I've given up hope on Banjo, man. I've just given up hope. Rick Payne, yeah, Crystal Dynamics, yeah, they have a good relationship with those guys, and IO Interactive. Those are two studios that, yeah, should be the only ones Xbox gets next to a small Japanese studio. I don't know. I'm done with the acquisitions. I really am. I don't want to see Sony fight back with it. It's just make some good partnerships. At least that's my opinion. If you differ, that's totally fine. Okay, so Tony, exclusivity deal, don't serve Game Pass. It could. If they worked out an exclusivity deal, for instance, I don't know, if Final Fantasy II Remake, that was an exclusive on PlayStation, that it turns out, for whatever reason, they pull a Kingdom Hearts and like, great, Remake Part 2 is exclusive to Xbox. Now, you're saying, Tony, exclusivity deals don't serve Game Pass. Why wouldn't they? That would be all the more, not only is it exclusive on our platform, but you also can just have it included in your membership. I don't see how that wouldn't serve Game Pass. Nato, exactly. Exclusivity deals are competitive without stifling competition overall. Yeah, exclusivity deals, it's like a good get. That's it. It's just a good get. It doesn't change the entire flow of things. It really, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. That's why I'm saying, man, the Bethesda one excited me, because Bethesda, they just, it made sense. It just felt right. Bethesda's always been on Xbox's stages, and like it felt natural. It didn't feel like it was out of nowhere. This felt out of nowhere. It felt completely out of nowhere. Let's see. Pretty Jessel, what do you think about Kingdom Hearts being available for Switch via cloud? Jessel, I'm gonna try to have a Kingdom Hearts video next week. We will see, because it is a 3-year anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 3. I just don't like that it's only available via cloud, because here's why, okay? Kingdom Hearts 3 makes sense. Hell, even 1.5, 2.5 remix and those, like, maybe if it's like 60 frames per second. But I would have much rather have seen the 1.5 collection, the 2.5 collection, the 2.8 collection just release in their PlayStation 3 state on the Switch. Instead of doing it through via cloud, why not just make the, you know, the 720p 30 frames per second version for portable, and then when you have it docked, it's most likely still like just 1080p 30 frames per second, or 1088i, or 900p, or whatever. Just make it exactly like the PlayStation 3 version. I guess with that, they wouldn't be able to do 2.8. But then fine, make 2.8 and Kingdom Hearts 3 be via cloud, just like Control, Hitman 3, and other, you know, current gen stuff is, because I get it, the Switch hardware can't deal with it. But then just release 1.5 and 2.5, PlayStation 3 version. Why not? Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I won't be partaking in that, because I can only play it when I'm on the internet anyway. And my main purpose with the Switch is playing it on the go. I love to play my Switch on the go, and that will be hard to play those games on the go, because I have to be cloud streaming it. Joey, if Square Enix purchase actually happens, I'd probably shocked. Let's do another round check of Twitter, even though I've been very interactive with this chat. Oops, that's the wrong one. Folks, gosh dang it. Right, there we go. If you would like to be a part of the stream in video form, feel free. Ooh, here we go. We got another one. All right. So all you got to do is just do a tweet, hashtag GeekProudAwesome, and I will live react to it. You can also do this in video form as well. Oh shit, my camera might be about to die soon. Bob Saget. We might have to switch cameras soon. All right, here we go. This comes from Nikhil. And look at this, PlayStation enthusiast. Okay, so this should be interesting. I'm a PlayStation fanboy through and through, and for the first time in over 10 years, I am considering joining Xbox. They have shown relentless passion for gaming in the past couple years. I completely agree, and it will no doubt only improve in the years to come. Although I don't 100% support in the methods they use to get where they are, they have the capital and they have the power to make change in the industry. Sony just hasn't shown the same fire-burning passion and intent that Microsoft has shown in the recent times. After 2022, with hitters like God of War, Horizon becoming a thing. Actually, hold on. Let's pause for a second. Let's pause for a second, because this is good. This is good stuff. First off, these first two halves here. Thank you so much for being willing to like be a part of the stream like this, Nikhil. I appreciate that. And I apologize if people here bash you. I'm not gonna bash you. This kind of boils down, these first two parts, this kind of boils down to what Xbox has been saying the past couple years, which is we're looking to compete more with Google and Amazon and Netflix than Nintendo and PlayStation. Like, those guys are doing their own things and they're great, but we kind of have much more bigger scale things, and we don't want our games to be limited to just one console. We want them to be available on PC and cloud. And they're going a lot in the direction of inclusiveness too, by not like having people be forced to pay for their games the full like price tag if you just become a part of their ecosystem by doing Game Pass. And there's a lot of folks that might say, oh, well, Game Pass doesn't have any good games or nothing that's of value to me. It's because you haven't tried them. You haven't tried them yet. If you haven't played Outer Wilds, play the frick out of Outer Wilds. But, that's back on Game Pass now. But they are doing a lot of stuff in the gaming space to really push gaming forward, period. And that is cool. That is cool. Now, I'm not saying that justifies this purchase, but that could have been part of their reasoning. I really don't think the timing of the controversy that's surrounding Activision and Blizzard right now, I think that the timing of this, there's a reason. Like, all those controversies started becoming public like 5 or 6 months ago. I don't think this is ill-timed. I think it's wrong timing, but I don't think it was unintentional. I think that there's more stuff going on. They're tired of what Activision and Blizzard and peeps are doing. They want to shape that into a kind of place that is like them, which is a good direction that they are going. And it is finally a gen that like sales have been released. And apparently this race is like actually insanely more neck and neck than it has ever been. And that's really cool. And apparently it's outsold the 360. At least it's moving at a pace that was faster than the 360, which is like the peak. So it's very interesting to see a hardcore PlayStation fan after 10 years, like finally, like I'm just starting to see the stuff that Xbox is thinking and doing. I'm admittedly kind of tuning out of the chat because I can already imagine a lot of people are like, F that. But after 2022, with heavy hitters like God of War and Horizon becoming a thing of the past, wait, after 2022 with heavy, oh, I see. He's saying like, once 2022 is over and God of War and Horizon become a thing of the past, the over 30 studios that Xbox now has will start to output better games, which go straight into Game Pass. How is Sony supposed to justify $70 price points now? Oh, you're gonna trigger Nado with that one. I'm sure PlayStation will have an excellent 2022, but after that, I seriously don't see them being on the main stage anymore. Well played, Microsoft. Nicole, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I apologize, I haven't looked at the chat yet. I hope people are being as just constructively respectful as possible. We all have different opinions, that's fine. It's just powerful. It's always crazy to see Xbox fans jump into PlayStation and PlayStation fans jump into Xbox. I'm like, great, that's good. That means the other guy's doing something that's really working for you. So that's good for that individual. So is there a new notification? Uh-oh. Oh no. I in no way for or against them, but do you think resistance of NFTs in the gaming space comes from a place of fear and lack of it? We're gonna come back to this. Okay, we're gonna come back to this because I want to tune into the chat for a second. I want to go back to that one though, because that's a good question. It's just like a sudden change. Anyways, let me just skim through the chat. I see GC2 Trey. I honestly hope COD stays cross-plat. That's the only way to get a return or investment. I'm curious, man. I don't know. They made Starfield exclusive, so I wonder if that's like, is that the direction they're going? I don't know. I don't know, man. To recoup. Okay, here's something I actually want to look into really quick. I want to look into this really quick. Also, yes, I see that. We might have to switch cameras. Let me look at something really quick here. I want to see what this studio, King. Okay. I want to see what this studio, King, King Game Publisher revenue. I want to see how much. Okay, so founded in Sweden, King is a video game developer that is most famous for its... yeah, Candy Crush Saga. Okay. The developer's revenue reached $2.6 billion in 2020, a marked increase of revenue of less than $60 million in 2010. In the third quarter 2021, social gaming company King, also known as King, Comma King, generates... So that's not... So even like, let's say hypothetically, this is saying 652 in 2021. This is saying 2.6 million. And let's see. Blizzard. Yeah, amounted to 8.0. Oh, they're joint, so that's together. So let's just say hypothetically, they make around 9 billion, 10 billion altogether a year. That's gonna take a hot minute to still pay off. But I don't know, is the way to pay that off through exclusivity, or is it to keep things multi-plat? There is a report from Bloomberg that says there's the intent that they're gonna keep some things multi-plat and then some things exclusive. But we'll see if that actually holds out. Anyways, let's see. I've fallen behind in the chat. And yes, Nato, I want that rumored Disney Plus show as well. So bad. For Kingdom Hearts. Faisal earlier said, because these deals with Microsoft tend to be short-termed, I don't last specifically with Japanese games. I think Xbox is trying to make it hard for Japanese companies to skip Xbox. I don't know. If the platform keeps growing, maybe that could be the intent, maybe, but project what now? No, I highly disagree with that tweet. And Dragon, relentless passion monopolized the market. I knew those would be the two people that would hardcore disagree. It's all good. People can disagree, man. Rick Payne, this gen you have both consoles if you can afford to. The Series S will continue to sell like crazy with this type of news and stuff. Series S is a very good secondary console. It is. However, I'd say just buy the Series X because of the storage space specifically. Unless you don't mind like transferring back and forth your stuff. A couple people agree with Nickel and a couple disagree, which was to be expected. Rick Payne, good show on Game On Daily too, Kibi. Thank you, man. Admittedly, hopefully they're not watching this or fans of them are watching this. I love being on that show, Game On Daily, but I have noticed the past couple times I've been on it, and it's what Gaz is known for. So like, I get it. That's his brand. That's what he does. He gets a bit too saucy though, man. He dips the sauce a bit too much for me personally. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but man, I do, like I've been talking with you guys, like I do my best to just try to see all perspectives and hopefully laugh with people, not at people. I never like to attack folks. Sometimes I do get triggered. I am guilty of that. But man, the sauce gets laid on that show, and sometimes I was on the show and I'm just like, I thought we're just gonna talk about Hitman 3 on Game Pass. like that's how I felt. I was like, I thought we're just gonna talk about Hitman 3 being on Game Pass, man. But anyways, Nato, I disagree in that Sony will be forgotten after 2022, but Sony and Microsoft currently have two different revenue streams. I think if Xbox come out with some killer titles, 1 out of 2, that are blockbusters like PlayStation Studios will produce, I'd be more on board. Well, they've already got some blockbusters, but I think we've established we have different definitions of a blockbuster. They don't feel like that because of that. I would argue the service of Game Pass has made it so any release on Xbox doesn't necessarily feel like a blockbuster. That's a controversial ass statement, but I would argue that's definitely, I think that's what's happened, because people, like, they can literally be playing an indie game one week and then the next week they could be playing a AAA release and just going back and forth, and therefore it's like nothing's really a blockbuster anymore because it all just meshes together. I think that's what's happened with some folks, and I totally can see that, because as I said, like, there's too much to play through that service, and therefore when you have so much of it, I miss that feeling. I do kind of miss that feeling when I used to have to buy a game because it was like an event. It was like, oh my God, here it is. I'm going to GameStop, or I'm gonna purchase it. I'm waiting for a download. Like that experience, there's something about it that makes it feel like that's the blockbuster. That's the AAA title. That's the big release for me. And admittedly now it's just like, oh yeah, that's available today. I'll play it tomorrow. You know, like, cause like, I admit, I think that's what's happened, but I totally could be wrong about that. It's one of those things where it's like when you have too much of a good thing, you don't value it as much. And I think that's what eventually is going to happen with Xbox. I definitely don't think PlayStation is going to be forgotten. They're doing their own thing. It totally works. Nintendo's doing their own thing. It totally works. And I think this acquisition, the only thing about it that disappoints me is it feels heavily like their statement that they were saying, where they're competing more with Netflix, Amazon, and Google than PlayStation and Nintendo. And this acquisition, Bethesda didn't feel like that, but this one did, and that's the reason why I'm kind of like, about it. Anyways, let's hit Nato's next thing, because I appreciate it when folks are doing the thing I'm mentioning, because I love Twitter. I do appreciate it. Nato, sorry, Kibiji, in no way am I for or against them, but do you think resistance of NFTs in the gaming space comes from a place of fear and a lack of understanding of what they are? I gotta be honest, I have nothing to contribute on this one. I've been told numerous times what NFTs are. I haven't bothered to do the research on it like I did this morning about what Activision and Blizzard have been doing to their employees. I haven't done that proper research on NFTs. So I have no fear of them. I just know they're a thing, like the metaverse, whatever the hell that is too. But I heard that Square Enix was like diving into their, I'm gonna actually make this bigger so you guys can see stuff more. I did hear that Square Enix was going to incorporate NFTs in their future game releases, and that didn't really scare me. Now, if content was locked behind the NFTs, that's different. Then we're in a Battlefront 2 situation all over again with EA. But if there's just NFTs you can optionally purchase or whatever for whoever likes doing that, again, I need to do more research. I'm very unqualified on this topic. If people want to get them, let them get them. But if it interferes with the game in any way, that's when it becomes a problem. If it interferes with the game in any way, that's when it becomes a problem, in my opinion. That's about it. But yes, potentially, I think the lack of information, it's kind of like how people like to bash Fortnite, even though they never play it, and it's just because it's super mainstream. Like, I have a feeling that's essentially what this is. You know, like, people are scared because they don't necessarily understand NFTs, and because NFTs are getting popular, it is therefore scary. Maybe that's the Xbox situation, because Xbox is buying everything. Maybe it's like, oh God, it's becoming that big thing now we can openly hate. Anyways, where's my other chat window? There we go. Nikhil, oh, there's Nikhil in our chat. I really don't want PlayStation buying a publisher now. It's just going to create further chaos amongst gamers. I agree. Square would be understandable considering their past relationship is still not healthy. I agree, man. I agree. And you know, there's going to be some weird statement that folks are going to grab onto, and it's going to be that statement that I personally hate to hear, but I understand why it's said, where Jim Ryan or somebody from PlayStation is just going to go like, oh no, we don't need to do anything because we're PlayStation. We build our bonds. We build our relationships. Sappy, we do that. They're not wrong, but it's just like, I don't know. I just rather them not comment at all than say something like that. Like, you're looking for One Piece, and somebody finds the treasure first and is like, look at this, we did it, we got the One Piece. And Luffy's gonna look at his crew, that's okay. It was about the journey of friendship all along. Luffy, they got One Piece. Like, Luffy, they are literally selling it right now. Ah, we got to switch camera. I knew that would happen. There we go. I'll have to adjust that. Luffy, they are literally bathing in gold. Oh, anyways, I gotta adjust this thing. NFTs consume a lot more energy than DLC and online games. How does it consume more energy? I don't understand that whatsoever. Why does buying DLC for a game not consume as much energy as buying art? Again, I'm not educated on the topic. Anyways. Also, I need to fix this one too. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Okay. Now we're on the webcam. If you're enjoying the stream, feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know. I appreciate it. Titus, NFTs are more of an environmental issue. Oh, God. And I also see Dragon saying that too. I don't think the environment is worth the cost of creating fancy pictures with special encryption, even if it helps someone. I gotta admit, I'm just not gonna have any comments on NFTs. Yeah, Joey, I don't want to get to the topic of NFTs, to be honest. I'm with Joey. Like, if you guys want to talk about it, cool, but I'm just not educated on it. I have no idea. So, like, this environment stuff, I don't know. We'll see. And Nikhil, oh no, NFTs, why? Anyways, so let's see. Roxastan, looking ripped as ever, dude. Thank you very much. Haven't been working out that much lately, so I've been shriveling down a bit. But it was funny on Game On Daily when I was on there Saturday. Somebody was at the stream, and then Gaz noticed that, and he's like, apparently this show was a failure because you didn't take off your shirt or something. And I flexed, and he's like, dear God, you're ripped. I was like, you didn't know this? Not in like a conceited way, but I'm just like, I never know what to say when people discover that or see that or tell me that. I'm like, thank you? I don't know what to say. Later, Joey. Thanks for swinging by, man. It was nice talking to y'all tonight. Later, Joey. Run from the NFT topic. Run. Dog Tag Duke. Here we go. Dude. $70 billion. Sorry, just joined. Hello, Dog Tag. My voice is dying. I admit I don't want to be educated on what NFTs are here. I'd rather dive into it on my own because there's so many different opinions about it. I'd rather like look into proper sources and find out from different folks like various opinions. So I don't want to be educated about that here. I won't be discussing them personally because I see some weird conversations surrounding that. So I personally won't be commenting off of it. Nor I will also be skipping messages about it. But yes, Dog Tag, $70 billion. Nearly. Can we just put that in perspective for a second? Buena Vista, aka Disney, bought Fox and everything they own for $71 billion. The gaming space hasn't had a transaction near that. The previously biggest one was 12 point something billion, I think. This just quadrupled that. Really 5 times that. More than 5 times it because it was 68. The previous record being 12 something billion, it jumped up to 68. That's crazy. And I hear folks saying like, I honestly don't care about it. That's fine. But I'm gonna tell you what, if you look at any gaming journalist today, we're all in a freaking scramble. I shouldn't say we because I'm not amongst them yet, damn it. I wish to be though. But yeah, they're all in a freaking scramble. Everybody is covering this today. I was seeing like 2 Nintendo channels bring it up. I saw a PlayStation one bring it up. I saw just a bunch of platform journalists bring it up. Everybody's talking about this today. They're gonna be talking about it for like the next month. Yeah. Anyways. Nikhil. I can see Sony being the platform people go to for blockbuster IPs, eating out at a fancy restaurant, if you will. But Xbox has those, so it's hard to justify. Yeah, just hearing the idea that Xbox doesn't have any big blockbuster IPs, I'm not gonna say that's wrong. I just disagree. That's all. I disagree. They're not wrong either when they say that. That's their opinion. So I just simply disagree. I hate to say people are wrong. I don't like that. I don't like to ever say somebody's right or wrong. That's just not me. And therefore, someday that's going to be hammering me like, how could you do this? Silence is violence. And I'm just like, dude, I just do my best to understand everybody. And that's why I don't want to be told about it by anybody that's too passionate about it, because I feel like they will sway me in a biased way. So that's something I do myself to pride on. I do my best to try to be as unbiased as possible. This transaction, that's crazy. Bubbly Noodle, I think the biggest shock for me is that this is a cash-only deal. Like they had that much on hand? They have that much on hand to just use? I was looking at like the highest valued companies in the world, or like that have the most equity or whatever. And that's freaking top two. The top two. Apple and Microsoft. Apple and Microsoft. Top two. At Microsoft is 2.14 trillion, I think. And I can't believe like they just, between this and Bethesda, they had 75 billion they have invested in the gaming marketplace in just a matter of 2 years. In just 2 years, they invested 75 billion in the gaming marketplace. That's crazy, dude. Like, I know I don't want to go back to the monopolizing conversation. I'm just talking about history here, and that's crazy. I can't believe that there are companies out there that have that kind of equity to use. Capone, with Xbox getting all these companies, making me hungry. Vermel, Disney bought Lucasfilm and Marvel for $4 billion each. But that's why I was saying, Vermil. I did a video about this today. And hey, Alex, I see. Hey, Alex, I'll answer that question in a second. That's why I'm saying in the video today, they recouped their expenses, and it was so fast. They just made Force Awakens, and they got over $1 billion back for the $4 billion they spent on Star Wars. They made their money back in like 2 years, basically, 2 or 3. So I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take to recoup this, but we'll see. Oh, Verma, I'm guessing this is the money that they originally wanted to buy TikTok with. TikTok is not worth that much. Hold on. TikTok is not worth that much. TikTok net worth. TikTok can't be. Holy. Holy shit. Okay. Its parent is also in it as the world's most valuable unicorn with a. Hold on. Really? Okay, 50 billion. That makes way more sense. Bytan, its parent, has also overtaken Ant Group as the world's most valuable unicorn with valuation through review. According to the latest, which was published on Monday. Where's this come from? Go banking rates? Is that their shares or? I believe that way more than the 350. When was this published? November last year. I believe that way more. 350 billion? Hell no. Absolutely not. TikTok is not worth 350 billion. 50 billion, I understand. That makes way more sense. Anyways, I thought we were gonna get to Monopoly talk. I broke my rule. Oh, let me get back here. Where are we? There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, Alex, are you going to be getting Pokemon Legends? I want to see what people say about it, Alex. Alex, if you're still here. I want to wait and see what I just want to wait and see what people think of it. I bought Pokemon Sword, and that was the first game in a long time I actually bought full priced and just sold it immediately. I couldn't even finish it. Like, it's been a long time since I've done that with a game I actually purchased. And I don't even do that with games that, like, I play through Game Pass. I usually always finish it because it's very rare that I just don't enjoy it enough to keep playing it. The only times that has happened in recent years is Paper Mario the Origami King, which I love the story of that game. It's just the gameplay that was, like, so repetitive to me personally. And Pokemon Sword. And yeah, so after Pokemon Sword, I just need to see what people think of this, and I'm happy it's a step in the right direction. So I hope Alex is still here for that. Let's do another Twitter check. Let's do another Twitter check really quick. Alex follow. Okay. Hashtag, if you'd like to be on the stream, feel free to record a video. And hopefully it's not toxic. Or you can do a picture. Latest. All right, here we go. Andrea, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Or madam. Oh, this is Bubbly Noodle. Perfect. So, is this the thread? There we go. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So, Andrea, the next 18 months are going to be interesting. If this goes through, Microsoft is making themselves the platform for gaming. If they make the WoW sub-ties to Game Pass and make the game awesome again, then Game Pass will grow again. That will make Game Pass even more difficult to ignore and draw even more publishers to the service. So thank you, Andrea. First off, thank you very much for willing to be like front and center on the stream. I appreciate that. But yes, there's another thing that we didn't really talk about so far, which is Game Pass is now, they announced this in the blog, it's now over 25 million subs. It's now over 25 million subs. That's a lot. That's a lot of people that are in this subscription service. I'm actually curious. Let's look this up really quick. How many Netflix subscribers 2021? I love to see this. Okay, I believe that. As of quarter 3, 2021, Netflix has roughly 214 million global paid memberships and increasing more than 60 million subscribers from the same time period last year. I believe that. I honestly thought it was going to be around like 150 or 170 million. So it's more than I thought. And that's what Xbox wants to eventually become. And as long as it keeps growing, the absolute juggernaut of gaming that is Game Pass, it could happen. Especially if they fix WoW. But wouldn't that just be on the PC space though? We wouldn't be able to do that on Xbox. Yeah. At this point, like once this goes through, the value of Game Pass is ignored for the sake of ignoring it. That's honestly what I believe. And people will throw this at me. People will throw this at me. I'm not ignoring it for the sake of ignoring it. Well, have you tried Undertale? Have you tried Outer Wilds? Have you tried It Takes Two? Have you ever played Mass Effect? Have you ever tried to jump into the Master Chief Collection? Have you ever tried this? Have you tried Dodgeball Academia? I haven't gotten to that yet, but I want to play and it looks fun. Have you tried Spiritfarer, an emotional game, whatever? Have you tried the Game of the Year nominee, Psychonauts 2? Have you tried these things? No, well, I'm not interested. Well, then you can't say it's not valuable. I get it. I get it. It's like, value is what we're interested in, but to me, that's the beauty of Game Pass, is you start hearing people recommend something, and you try it out for yourself to find out if you'll like it, and then it's awesome. Or it's not, to which case, you move on to the next thing. Anyways, but yeah, with this move, Game Pass is definitely exploding. And if WoW does get fixed, that's a good point. If WoW does get fixed, yeah, that will be for the PC one though. I don't see how that would help the Xbox side of things. SNES, I have to put you in a timeout, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to see no trash. Sony is not trash. PlayStation is not trash. I'm not for that here. I don't stand for it. This is a constructive community. We don't do that. So, I appreciate you swinging by though, man. And hopefully when you come back, it's just constructive conversations. Nobody is trash. We're not here to just straight up trash talk anybody. I say that as an Xbox guy. I freaking love Xbox. That's my primary console, and I respect the hell what PlayStation does. I can do that. Just because you're primarily one system, that doesn't mean you have to instantly think what the other guy's doing is bad. Let's see. Nikhil, with all this talk about exclusives, I can't wait to see more about Redfall and Starfield. They both cater to my personal game tastes. Dude, I really hope Redfall comes out this year. I don't think it's gonna. There's been rumors that that's gonna be pushed back, but I don't think it's gonna. Like, all we got was a cinematic. I don't have faith. How many times did Deathloop only get pushed back once? I don't remember. Right. Dragon, absolutely. I see your earlier message. I can't control what someone else does with their money, but I can tell them the risk and consequences of what they're doing, and I will fight for what I think is right. Matt, if you're watching this, I love you, man, but pay off certain things first. I agree, Dragon. Like, it gets very uncomfortable for me to do that, but yeah. Because this whole situation, again, like, I'm so just on the fence about it. I'm very cautious about it. I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm just like, it's history in the making, but it just doesn't feel as like compelling as that's why I hated this talk after the Bethesda thing. And that's why I'm not super happy about this, even though I should be, because I'm an Xbox guy. I'm subscribed to Game Pass. I'm going to get all these Activision things day one. Oh my gosh, I could brag about that. It's cool, but there's still a lot of big picture stuff that I'm willing to recognize. But yes, if I was completely selfish, then this makes me hate Game Pass all the more on a joking level, because I'm like, I'm not gonna play all this crap. After I saw this, I admit, I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna have to play the things that interest me instead of like just playing as many things as I possibly can, because at this point there's no way. If anybody could just keep up with Game Pass after this, you have no, I don't know how. You don't sleep, you don't work, you don't eat. Like, there's no way. Like, that's a great, no freaking way, dude. Hey Alex, lol, still here. The way they have been not have any hands-on previews for Pokemon Legends has me worried. But at least they fixed that shoddy frame rate. Hey, if the frame rate's fixed, that's nice. But let's see. I see Roxastan. Here we go. Okay, SNES, let's not be talking. Yeah, got him out of here, guys. If he's not back, yeah, okay, he hasn't come back yet. Well, I don't know if timeout's over yet, but SNES, if you come back, you can come back. Just, we don't do that toxic stuff here. I don't do it. Dragon has a good point. If you ever want to support indie devs, absolutely, you know, feel free to buy their games. Like, I did that with, there was two games, I forgot what they were. I played them on Game Pass first, but I loved them so much, like, I just felt like supporting it by buying it. But Game Pass is like the ultimate way to have a game demo, essentially. But as Titus said here, Microsoft gave them money to put Undertale on their service, so they got paid. Microsoft is a huge supporter of indie devs. I indicate what the discourse is there. Yeah, that's 100% true. A lot of indie games, if they get featured on Game Pass, that's fantastic, because one, their games are played and that's what they want, and two, Microsoft is giving those indie devs a big check. It's a big check to fund their ventures. And a lot of the times people will still buy. But just like Netflix, if it's a game a lot of people are playing and keeps people on the service, then it works out. It works out for both Microsoft and it works out for those indie devs. I won't go into it more. You can feel free to look into it, but absolutely support indie games by buying the games, but also support them by just playing their game, period, if you have Game Pass, if you have it. But, you know, best way is to buy their game, but it's better than not playing it at all. You know, if you have it accessible on Game Pass, it's better than not playing it at all. In fact, it's good for them because it shows, it's like a YouTube video, you know, YouTube loves, ooh, people are watching this. Let's put it up in the search forum or whatever. That's exactly like how it is with Game Pass. Oh, people are playing this. Let's thank that dev and fund that or whatever. Dragon, is the money that Microsoft gives indie devs publicly disclosed? Oh, hell no. They're not gonna publicly disclose. There's no Game Pass transaction that will ever be publicly disclosed. So, and if that makes you refuse to believe it, I totally understand. I totally understand. But absolutely, there will be no Game Pass like deal that will be publicly disclosed, like the thing we're talking about today. Those numbers will never be out there. And Nikhil, oh man, I was about to ask if he enjoyed God of War. Gamer choice above all else. Exactly. Gamer choice above all else is absolutely the best. Freaking love it. And that's not me. I don't know if that was like a subtle, like subconscious jab at like, I can play whatever I want, bitch. Like, absolutely you can. Like, if people don't want to play Game Pass, that's fine. I just don't think it's to the point where you could ask anybody that has it and they will say, why not? Because there's very few reasons at this point. But again, agree to disagree. Dragon, is the money that Microsoft gives indie devs publicly disclosed? Oh, oops, I already read that. The Grouch has some savage takes, but I think Emil has him beat. Chief Master, you got a lifetime of games. Yes, you do. How do I respect Xbox gamers when they like Game Pass, but don't shame people for wanting to buy their games also? Oh, absolutely. There's no shame in buying games. It's just if you'd rather buy your games than buy your games. That's basically it. If you'd rather buy your games, buy your games. You could have Game Pass and buy a Game Pass game for 10% off. That's a thing. I did that with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was on Game Pass, specifically the 1.5, 2.5 game and 2.8. Those are both on Game Pass, and they were leaving, and I was like, shit. I abused the fact that Game Pass games are 10% off, so I bought them. I bought them because I love Kingdom Hearts. But through Game Pass, I luckily got to save 10%. There was a similar deal with Minecraft Dungeons. That's a first-party title that is never gonna leave, ever. That's a first-party title. Unless it's Forza, it's never leaving if it's first-party. But I still bought it because I wanted to support it, and I liked I wanted to get some DLC for it. So you can still have Game Pass and still buy games. That's totally fine. Halo Infinite. That's flagship first-party title for Xbox. I love Halo so much. I didn't need to buy it, but I love Halo so much. I need to put it on my shelf, so I bought it. But guess what? I'm playing it through Game Pass every day. And other stuff right now. I'm playing Plague Tale Innocence while I physically bought Halo. But I could still play Halo through Game Pass as well as the Gunk and Plague Tale. So you could do both. That's what I'm getting at. It's not like you have to choose one or the other. You could do both. You could still buy games. That's the most ideal system, in my opinion. And that's what like a lot of the people from IGN are doing now, where there's a dude that's like, he loves his PlayStation most, and he tends to be on his Xbox more because he's always like playing Game Pass while he waits for the PlayStation exclusive. I'm going to try to get a PS5 this year. That's exactly what I intend to do. I'm primarily on my Xbox because I'm playing all this Game Pass stuff as I wait for that 1 or 2 titles a year on PlayStation and Nintendo that I want to play, that I'm going to buy. So, just saying, you can totally do both. You don't have to do one or the other. Jinsei, hello. Welcome to the Attack on Titan. I see that ED. I see that ED cover, man. That ED is so good. That ED is so good. Jinsei, hi Kibiji, just dropped by. It's off topic, but I wanted to ask if you will make or talk. We'll talk/make a video about the Kingdom Hearts news. AKA 20th anniversary cloud version on Switch. I mean, I could just tell you right now, I won't be. I talked about the cloud versions earlier, Jinsei. The cloud versions, I don't see why they couldn't make the PS3 versions available on Switch. It's specifically of 1.5 and 2.5. Why not just make those local games, charge $30 for them each, and then 2.8 and Kingdom Hearts 3, you got to have those in the cloud. I don't see why they didn't do that, but as for the 20th anniversary, I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to it. I think as that gets closer, maybe we'll talk about that a bit, but for now, just next week, I'm thinking about doing like a 3-year anniversary. 3 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. 3 years. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's next week. So for now, that's what I got for you, Jinsei. Also, glad you caught it. Huge Attack on Titan fan. Hell yeah, man. I have a feeling this Saturday is going to be crazy, dude. Oh, I'm so scared for this Saturday. Delilah. Nia was live at the same time. Get him in here, man. Tell him to put me on his show. Oh my God, I'd be so excited. I'd be so excited to talk with that dude. I was listening to his Twitter talk this morning. Oh wait, Nikhil. The only reason I'm... Oh, okay, hold on. I want to actually do a Twitter check. I haven't done a Twitter check in a while. Let's do that. Twitter check. Potentially the last one. Awesome. Okay, so we're good. Okay. Nikhil, the only reason I'm not fed up with this whole Activision situation is because I respect the dedication Microsoft has for gaming. No one spends that amount for an experiment. Yes. That is a huge amount to just experiment with. I absolutely agree. And then Nato here says, to be honest, I value them more if they did experiment with as much money as they have. They should do it also. I mean, what is an experiment? I'm curious, because I don't know. What would be a good experiment? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what an experiment would be, but yeah, they're not spending money like that on an experiment. They're simply, they just want to have more games that they are backing, basically, and therefore comes to their services. So we'll see. Okay, here's a hot take. We were talking a lot about Monopoly stuff earlier. Hot take. I literally just thought of this. Cloud gaming. Cloud gaming. That is going to be the next big thing. Cloud gaming is going to be the next big thing. And if there's an experiment that Xbox has done, other than Game Pass, I would say it's cloud gaming. It would be Game Pass and cloud gaming, both those together. Those are the two things that their other competitors aren't doing. Yes, Nintendo has their retro system that they've rolled out now. Yes, PlayStation has PlayStation Now, and a dope-ass thing if you're on PS5 with a PlayStation Plus. But none of them give you that, like, AAA day one release. So that's Game Pass. Then there's cloud gaming, where you could play it anywhere. You don't even need a console. Just at some point, they're going to give you a dongle. You plug it into your TV, good to go. That's how streaming works. And I got a feeling, Jinsei, yeah, they're going to go with cloud gaming. Yeah. That's what I think is going to happen. And I have a feeling, they even said it in their blog this morning that like this is kind of fast forwarding their goals that they have with cloud gaming. And I honestly think that's going to be the future. That's the thing that is really going to push things. Like Nintendo and PlayStation, they've already adapted the Azure technology that Microsoft has for cloud streaming stuff because they're starting to do it. Look at Switch. They're starting to do, you know, the Kingdom Hearts thing like we were saying before. You could buy Kingdom Hearts, but it's streamed on the Switch, even though its hardware can't run it. You have PlayStation Now where they have a lot of old games that you have to stream, and there's like hundreds of them through PlayStation Now, but you stream them all. Like, it's not going to be soon, but I truly think like 10 years from now, we're probably going to be in an era that's like physical copies of stuff are going to be ancient. They're going to be ancient, and we're going to have like 7G, 8G, something like that, and reception everywhere, even if you're in the mountains. And it's just going to be cloud gaming everywhere. I have a feeling that's what's going down. And I think Xbox is gearing up for that. And they want to be able to have all these developers and IPs and stuff that can exclusively be streamed through cloud gaming. They're not all exclusive yet, but I have a feeling that's what they're gearing up for. It's going to be slow. It's not going to be an immediate thing. But I'm telling you, like 10 years from now, I have a feeling. I just thought of that. I have a feeling that's exactly what's going down. Nato, how dare you play another console, Keebs? You betray your Xbox brethren. Yes. Nato, okay, this is off topic, but can YouTube seriously add an @reply system on mobile? Typing out username sucks. Yes, I agree, Nato. It's annoying to have to type out usernames to reply to stuff. And Jinsei agrees with me about 1.5, 2.5. Oh my goodness, it's been over an hour and a half. We have to start wrapping this soon. Bubbly Noodle. So we live in a timeline where Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, and Daniel Radcliffe is playing a weird AI in the biopic. Justice Warrior, how you doing? Thank you. Hi, Justice Warrior. Doing good, man. Talking about history in the making and potentially where this goes from here. We've had lots of disagreements, lots of hot takes. Definitely one of the most tension-filled streams I've done. I've just been very eager to talk about this with folks. I appreciate folks sharing their opinions and being like just doing their best to be respectful about it. I appreciate no preaching. We've come close to that a couple times, but just stating opinions, and then there we go. How you doing, Justice? Dragging this acquisition isn't an experiment. It's a calculated move that there's a small chance that this won't pay off for them in the future. Not really much of a gamble. Exactly. Yeah. And Nikhil and I agreed with that. It is definitely not an experiment. Okay, this is a good idea, Nikhil. I guess an experiment is branching out into new IPs and stuff people haven't seen yet. I would agree, Nikhil. That's a good one. Branching out with new IPs, maybe making a new studio. Thinking of something else. I have a feeling Xbox is scarred after Kinect. They're like, let's not do that ever again. I have a feeling, let's just not do that ever again. Let's just stick with the games and focus on the games and just move on. Justice Warrior, playing Overwatch or COD on your phone at 1080p and 60 frames, crazy. Dude, if they go in on cloud, I just hope they can fix the latency problem. Because you can't do fighting games or shooters on cloud. Stuff like Dragon Quest, though, like turn-based stuff, oh, hell yeah, those are perfect for cloud. But I tried playing Halo on cloud. It's just not pleasant. I don't know. Nikhil, just imagine it. On holiday in Hawaii, you're relaxing on the beach and a new game launches. Yep, pull out your controller and phone, boom, you're playing. Cloud is the future. It probably is, man. Like, it probably is. I can't comprehend it now, but we'll see. We shall freaking see. Now I'd push back a little and say PlayStation kind of as first to cloud gaming, but that neither here nor there. No, you're right. I would say so, Nato. Hell, Google Stadia as well, but you're right. PlayStation did the streaming thing first. Okay, so I know PlayStation Now, you stream a lot of the games on there. Before, like when it was first a thing though, were you able to just play it anywhere? Like without your PlayStation being on, and you are at your friend Jenny's house, you're at her house on her Wi-Fi, your PlayStation console is nowhere near you, it's not on or anything. Were you able to access the PlayStation Now catalog while at Jenny's house? Because if that's the case, then PlayStation totally did it first. But definitely, no matter what, PlayStation Now was like the sort of the beginnings of it. It was like the beginnings, and then I think Google Stadia was the next one that was like, what if we did that but bigger? And then they failed. And then xCloud came out, and then we're like, we're making that work. Oh, by the way, it's included in your subscription. Anyways. A Blue hopefully get more positive than negative. It's been a mix, A Blue. It's been a mix. I think I can tell, like, it's been a very engaging stream, but there hasn't been any support during it. And by support, I mean like actionable support. At least, ooh, shoot, I probably should have had things open. But usually when there isn't actionable support, that usually means it's been either boring or a lot of hot takes has been going around. And I think it's the second one. There's been a lot of tension. Oh no, I do appreciate this. JC2 Trey, new Twitch follower. Thank you so much, JC. We've been playing through the Artist Escape on Twitch last Thursday, this Monday, and we're gonna wrap it up this Thursday. So hopefully I'll see you there, Trey. We've been having a good time there. Gemini, you know damn well they will get rid of that cancer as soon as they have complete dominance. My favorite part of the video I uploaded today is the Xbox isn't gonna stand for this shit that I almost said Ubisoft, that Activision and Blizzard are doing. Like, instead of just telling them not to do it, they're saying, okay, you have a year to do it, otherwise, fine, I'll do it myself. Like, that's basically what just happened. Nobody click on that website, please. Nobody click on that website. I just saw somebody put something. You guys are smart. You know what to do. Anyways. The only stop to cloud gaming becoming mainstream is the infrastructure is not robust enough and not everywhere. Also, data caps would need to be eliminated if not greatly expanded. Yeah, I could see that, Nato. Which we'll see what happens, years from now. Things will be very shifting years from now. Like, PlayStation's already shifting to the PC market finally. And watch, 10 years from now, Xbox, you won't even need a console. You'll just be gaming on the go. PlayStation, all their games will be available day one through a version of Game Pass and on PC. And then Nintendo, they'll have a working online system. It's like, that's basically the thing. Like, Xbox is going to be 5 years ahead, PlayStation will be at present, and then Nintendo's just always 5 years behind. That's basically what's going on. I'm teasing, but for the purposes of the joke, humor me. Pretty Jissel, gotta run, flex for the fans. Oh, wait, that's covering. God, My chest is hurting. Nikhil, this is your first stream, man. Thank you so much. It's awesome. They're usually not this like debating and like intense. I don't think we've been debating. We've just all been sharing hot takes. They're usually very community based. We'll hopefully have one on West Side Otaku that's more casual and just whatever the hell. But I just needed to talk about this with you guys today. Nato, if we're looking at remote play and the console being in standby mode, then technically yes. Oh, I didn't think about standby mode. You're right. Okay. JB, do you think PlayStation and Nintendo can do more something like this? Or is it just... What? Do you think PlayStation and Nintendo can doing more something like this just like Xbox or not, Keebs? Are you okay? I think JB's saying, do you think PlayStation and Nintendo can pull off acquisitions like this? No. No. Nintendo will never do so. They got their own thing going. Nintendo doesn't need to do nothing. PlayStation doesn't need to do nothing. That's not what you were asking, but I don't ever see them pulling moves like this. What they're doing works. It's fine. And yeah. If I had anything to say, because a lot of people like to compare PlayStation and Xbox because they're the two that like always make things grow. This is why it's so great right now. I don't want to like fuel console wars, but I want to fuel competition, because when competition is a thing, we flourish. When competition is a thing, prices get cut, quality games get made, packages come out, Christmas is fantastic, there's sales. Like, a lot of good stuff happens in competition when there's an actual back and forth. But when it's just nothing's happening. And therefore, this dude feels confident and doesn't need to do anything. So that's why, like, right now is such a good time, because the console race has never been closer. And we, therefore, get to benefit off of it. So, yeah, if PlayStation does anything in response to this, they don't need to. But if they do... I don't know. I don't want them to. I personally don't want them to, because I don't know. Like, what can you respond with? Somebody... I could already picture it a month from now. I promise you, a month from now, folks that the folks that just refuse to give Game Pass or Xbox a chance, they're gonna go, look at how good Horizon Forbidden West is. Like, that cost $200 million to make. Have fun over there with your $70 billion you spent, Xbox. I promise you there's going to be posts like that next month. I promise you. But it works. If PlayStation just keeps making quality games, that's all they really got to do. They've got it. Like, it's perfect. Could cut diamonds. Gone Mad. YouTube sent me here. Well, thank you very much, YouTube. I appreciate that. How's it going, Gone Mad? I don't think I've seen that name before, so welcome to the channel, dude. And Mr. Matthews is here. Hello. It's been a long time since I streamed on YouTube besides on Twitch. Usually have one once a month, Matthews, but yes. Xbox now has 31 studios. That's a number. Matthews, I was showing this earlier, this picture here. Microsoft just bought Sony. You're lying. Stupid Taylor. Microsoft just bought... You're dumb. Anyways, this image, we were looking at this at the start of the stream, and it's quite a crazy thing. That's quite a crazy thing. But we'll see, man. And here's the problem. Another thing I promise you we're going to be hearing throughout this year is in terms of like the competition. PlayStation's making more quality games. Look at this. Like, they released, of the 3 games they released this year, all 3 of them are bangers. And then Xbox might release like 10 games this year, and 3 or 4 of them will be bangers too. But therefore, because it's that ratio, you instantly know where I'm going with this. Because it's that ratio, unless all 10 of them are great, it don't matter. I get it. it's like I said, I could disagree with things, but at least I could try to understand them. And I understand. I definitely disagree with that, but I understand. But that's probably going to be the case that a lot of folks throw out. The 3 games that PlayStation released this year, they're all 9 out of 10s. Of the 10 games Xbox released this year, 4 of them are 9 out of 10s. It's like, there were still 4 great games over there. I'm confused. Anyways. But after this crap, man, Jesus Christ. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. This many. There'll be like some mainline game every month or every other month, at least first party wise. That's crazy. That's insane, dude. There will be a main first party game either every month or every other month with this many studios. That's freaking bonkers. That's wild. And that also gives them more time. Like, say, while when Obsidian releases Avowed, they could take their sweet ass time because meanwhile, everybody else will be releasing stuff. It's not like they need to fill a void. Like, there's plenty of people to cover them. And freaking when Ninja Theory releases Hellblade 2, great. They could take their sweet ass time to make their next game while everybody else is releasing theirs. So they just all have to time it right. They just all have to like talk to each other and be like, hey, you got 2020. Okay, you got 2023. Okay, you like as long as they communicate. That is somewhat a cool thing. If you're a Game Pass person, anyways. If you're a Game Pass person, that is a pretty cool thing. Anyways, it's been almost 2 hours. Holy crap. If you would like to support the channel, and no idea gotta, but I would love, instead of you doing super chat, instead of you doing a donation, go to the description, consider becoming a patron. You can talk with me on Discord about this. You could join our fun game nights that we have every month. You could use some funny little emotes. For some reason, people care about that. You could request podcasts. If you want me to talk about this more, you can do that there. If you want me to do a top 10 or something about Kingdom Hearts, you could request that video too, and I'll do a little podcast about it. And there's full reactions there. There's exclusive content. That's just a great way to support. So just feel free. Super chats and donations are nice, but if you ever want to support, I always prefer Patreon because not only does most of it actually go to the creator, but you also get rewarded. You also get rewarded for doing so. So, anyways, one last Twitter check before we wrap. And I also want to see, like, I'm gonna look at the chat one more time. No new tweets, so we're good there. So, final comments from the chat. Gone Mad, we are going to hear more lies from Worldwide Jim. I don't know if I want to say more lies, dude. Back so many games. Yeah, Jim, it's really been on both sides, man. Like, Gaz, he went into that hard on Game On Daily, and I'm just like, dude, it's been on both sides, though. Because PlayStation, they really went back on their word about believing in the gen, moving on to next gen. And Xbox went back on their word about believing in last gen. PlayStation's releasing a lot of cross-gen stuff. Xbox is releasing a lot of exclusive stuff. So it's like, yeah, they both like totally went back on their words, which is fine because that just makes them all the more balanced. So I personally don't care. I see Justice Warrior. What if Sony acquires Square Enix as their response? We talked about that earlier, Justice, but I just don't. I don't want that to happen. I really don't. I don't want no more acquisitions. Not from Xbox, not from Nintendo, no, nobody. Unless it's an indie dev that could use the backing, that's perfect. If you're getting an indie dev like Double Fine, who had to spend so many years just to fund their now Game of the Year nominee game that they released, those are the only acquisitions I want to hear about. I just want to hear about indie devs. That is it. And hopefully whoever they get acquired by lets them make whatever the hell they want. It just makes it so they don't have to worry about the funding. Gone Mad Bethesda's my jam. Dragon, just another reminder to support indie games. Absolutely. Play their games. Play their games. Play their games. I'm very happy that I get to experience the Artful Escape recently, thanks to Game Pass. But otherwise, if you're really enjoying a game, buy it. That's what I did for Outer Wilds. I loved Outer Wilds, so I bought it. You have that one job, Keebs. I don't know for how much longer, JB. I wish every day I could be doing what I'm doing right now. Seriously. Every day. If I could just be covering my favorite industry now, that would be awesome. That'd be so awesome. An industry that we now have an acquisition that came just under the Fox one. That's still so crazy to me. Yeah, Nato just said what I said. Yes, there's been a lot of folks that have lied. Matthews, what studios does WB Games have? WB has Studio Montreal, straight up WB Games. I think it's a thing. Who made Injustice? God, why can't I remember their name? The fighting game studio that makes Injustice, and I think Mortal Kombat. There was one horror one. There's like 7. I think there's like 7 developers under that wing. I don't know all their names though. Capone, yes, join our army. He's talking about the KIBI army. He's not talking about Xbox, PlayStation. He's talking about the Keebs army. Keebs doesn't see why people like emotes. Oh, old man Keebs. I don't, dude. I don't know what I made. I paid $60 to make some new emotes for everybody, and I love them. They're freaking adorable. I don't get it though. They're cute, but I don't know. I personally don't get it, but I still made them because I figured people would like it. So, Pure Gamer or Pure Garner, sorry. Hell of a day. Yes, hell of a day indeed. God Mad. Have you watched Gaz's Game On Daily? The sauce. I don't do the sauce, but the sauce. I also think folks should realize that companies pivot, and that means what they say changes constantly. We should latch on to every word. I think you mean we shouldn't latch on to every word they say. Yeah. Seriously. Imagine Sony acquiring Double Fine. That would have been great. Like, no matter what, Double Fine would have been in good hands either way. I'm really happy to hear, like, as much as I'm sure Xbox knows Double Fine, a lot of people want them to make a Banjo-Kazooie game. They've expressed that they don't want to do that. Like, whatever they make next, they want it to be new. They don't want it to be a sequel. And it sounds like that's what they're getting to do. In fact, I think they have 2 games in development now. And they're probably doing that just because they have the backing now to do so. Like, Double Fine spent so much of their time just trying to fund their games. And now that they have the funding and got that Game of the Year nom, I think they're developing 2 games right now instead of 1. I hope that doesn't mean they're spraying themselves out thin. I hope that just means that they now have the resources to make whatever the hell they want. I really hope. NetherRealm Studios. Thank you, Matthews. NetherRealm Studios. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you. Injustice 3? We'll see. Yes, Nato, I agree. Yes, it's a feeling of belonging to a group and having that, like, you know, that sticker, that badge to show that you do so. I don't know if I can add those to YouTube. I think so if people are members. I just don't want people... I appreciate Twitch subs. I appreciate super chats. I appreciate the idea of memberships. But I love Patreon so much more because I feel like they get so much better rewards. Like, I always feel weird about just, you know, receiving people's money. Like, I want to be able to thank them some way. And that's why I like Patreon, is because, like, there's a lot more I feel people get out of it instead of just tipping $2, you know? They put that $1 or $3 into Patreon and they get way more out of it. I've ranted about this many times. But if you want to support a creator, always do Patreon. They get a majority of it. You get perks. It's the best way to support anybody. I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about if you watched a great AMV and they got a Patreon, do that. Matthews, I think those 2 new games could be action venture ones, and I hope they're good. If Tim Schafer, not Tim Schafer, is that his name? I think it's Tim Schafer. As long as he's writing it, great. The Nerdy Giant, so love your channel. Gotta say this, everyone is freaking out over COD rights when it's much bigger. Xbox isn't trying to buy out the competition. They are trying to reinvent gaming. I feel that. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I feel that. It's not necessarily about buying out the competition. They're just trying to build something. That's why I'm saying I think that cloud gaming, I really think they're just trying to arm themselves to the teeth for literally whatever we are doing in 2030. Like in 2030, I have a feeling they're just trying to arm themselves for that and literally compete with the likes of Google, Netflix, and Amazon, as they have said. You go to Amazon to buy stuff, and they want to make it so you go to Xbox to play stuff. That's kind of scary to think about, but we'll see. I want Nintendo and PlayStation and third-party publishers, I want them all to be able to be spread out pretty decently. And who knows, maybe Xbox will be the place to go. But anyways. Matthews, are you on the knowing about the 20th anniversary event happening for Kingdom Hearts? Yes, somebody asked about that earlier, Matthews. I responded to it. I just don't have too much to say about it right now. If there's anything there, I just hope it is the Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus show. I really hope to see that there. And ideas for what's to come, you know? But I need to make an entire video about like why Kingdom Hearts has kind of lost me. And that is with one simple word. Unreality? The second I heard that word, I was done. Hey, that light died. All right, that means it's a good time to wrap. So I'm gonna go. My voice is really tired. I want to hear more about what other people are saying about this too. I appreciate everybody here for hearing me out, being constructive about it. I had to put 2 people in timeout. It was really only one that was trash talking. The other one was just like spamming websites. But I will see you probably on West Side Otaku tomorrow or Thursday. And Pretty Jissel closing out the stream with a $3 donation. Thank you so much, Jissel. Really appreciate that. Here's your flex. I know they like the flex. Anyways, Jissel likes the flex, I think. But thank you so much for closing out the stream with that, Jissel. I appreciate that. And I will talk with you guys later. The Artful Escape finale is on Twitch this Thursday. If you want to talk with me like this every week, feel free to go to Twitch or Patreon. Really appreciate it. Talk to you later, guys.